Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Yes. Welcome into the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. I am, of course, Colby Sapp, along with IndyCarTim in the blue room doing all the twerking, planking, and whatever he does in there. Shakes his head and makes his beard ruffle. Hey, Tim, what's going on?
What is happening, Colbster?
You know what? That's not a good nickname.
Not an approved nickname?
No? You basically added 3 letters onto my name, but for making it from Colby to Colbster.
Colbstinator.
It's not, just not it. Wow. Talking about, hey, have this monkey wrench and see if that feeds your brain any kind of information. Tim, as we're walking into this, man, I've heard some and read some reviews of the Flash movie.
It's not out yet, right?
It's not out, but there's been screenings for it. And basically, it's Warner Brothers and them guys inviting people out to come watch the final, edited. This is going to be the theatrical release version of the film. And
how'd that go?
We're getting a few of the, it seems like the copy and paste style of, oh, this was a great movie. It was fun. It had action, and all the feels and the emotions. And it seems like everybody that's commenting good about the movie is pretty much just taking whatever somebody else said and saying it themselves again, which leads me to believe that there might be a little bit of review payment going on. Not that that's ever happened before. But then we get other reviews. Now, remember, this is people that got invited to go to these things.
Right.
They
pick those people carefully.
Yeah, you would think. The people that are, and you'll see their tweets, and they start off something along the lines of, about to check it out, the new Flash movie, review to come afterwards. And then the review comes, and they're not being very nice.
Oh, no.
They're not being very nice at all. Now, I will tell everybody that if you are a listener to the Mystery Shotgun, and I keep promising episodes, and I swear when I have the time to do one, I will do one. Swear to God. But at one point, I did tell you basically at the time what exactly the written plot line was for the Flashpoint movie. And it wasn't good then, just trying to tell you what the plot was. Now, this is before all the editing and some switch ups and some change ups and such like that I've been aware, and some reshoots. But I didn't like it when I read it. And I want to believe that basically none of that I read is in the final formation of the film.
Right.
It's what I want to believe. But I'm starting to think maybe it is. And I'm also starting to notice some not prepared trailers that visuals that people are like said, and this is in the film, and they'll show it. And I'm realizing that this might be some of the worst CGI that I've ever seen that's going to make it to a theatrical release. And that's also bad. Now remember, the trailers and such are going to be, they're going to catch the best, parts of the CGI, the best parts of this, and they look all right. They don't look, exceptional, but passable.
Right.
Good. Some of the still shots that I'm seeing from people watching it, it looks like somebody's watching a movie, but as a prank before the movie started, somebody just took a big jar of KY jelly and just rubbed it all over the screen.
I hate when that happens.
So,
I mean, this thing already had troubles going into it because of his off the screen issues, and didn't know if they were even going to ever release it.
Yeah. And the other side of it is this movie has gone through, it was going to help the Snyderverse, then end the Snyderverse, Then it was going to create a new universe. And then here recently, it's now going to be used to create a whole different universe.
Wow.
This Flashpoint movie. And so what you just have to realize that this might not all end well. It's going to take a specific level of genius to make it into something that rocks. And I give it probably about a good 25 to 26% chance of actually pulling this off to what they said it was going to be, which is an epic blockbuster. More than likely it's going to be but it has a real solid chance of being so y'all just keep out an eye out and a look for that. Tim, do you have anything before I get into the things I found on TikTok?
Colby, I watched a movie.
Oh, you did?
Last night, sat down with the boys in the living room, which I can't remember the last time I sat down in my living room. You know why?
Because you don't have a couch?
No, I have a not very nice couch. I have a nice living room. I'm never allowed in there because they're always playing video games.
Okay.
That's apparently their game room. Even though they all have their own TVs in their own rooms and their own game systems in their own rooms, and they're freely able to move other game systems wherever they want. The living room
has become the central congregated room for, okay.
We now have a tiny table where my TV is with my PS4 with an Xbox One, and on top of the PS4 is a Switch.
Okay.
This is all in the wires everywhere, just because they, whatever. So we sat down and watched Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah. The Chris Pine vehicle.
Which I'm a big Chris Pine fan.
Right.
And really, that's the only reason I was somewhat interested in this, other than my oldest is into D&D. He's 16, almost 17 now. And he asked me, we were supposed to go see it at the theater together.
Right.
You know my schedule. I don't really have time to do crap like that. Plus, it costs $180 to go see a movie now.
And what the subtitle list is Honor Among Thieves. Is that right?
Honor Among Thieves. Yes,
right.
Was the name of the movie. And, I don't know a lot about D&D going into it, but, everything I read and saw that you don't have to be a fan of the game or anything to enjoy the movie. And I tell you what, I was pleasantly surprised. Give it a 7.5 out of 10.
You know what? I enjoyed it. I also have seen this movie.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed, the aspects of the. I thought it was comedy in the right spots, action in the right spots. The story moves along. The story's a little light, but that's all right.
Right.
When you're just wanting a movie, just get me along, man. Yeah. Just get me along. And so I was damn all right with that movie.
It had more comedy than I thought it would.
Right.
But the comedy was good. It was, like you said, it was placed right. It was pertinent to the situation, and dude, Chris Pine can deliver some comedy.
He can.
He doesn't do a lot of comedy, but he has before, and he can do it well. And I like, he's quickly rising the charts of my favorite actors out there. And I was a big fan of his dad. I don't even remember who his dad was. Robert Pine.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Chips?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. The sergeant or whatever he was.
Yeah.
That was his dad. Also made a couple of appearances on Parks and Rec most recently, but I know you don't watch those.
No.
But yeah, so Chris Pine, son of Robert Pine, who was a big television actor back in the 70s, early 80s.
The role that Chris Pine plays in the movie that ends up being like the leader of the group and whatever. And he basically starts out the whole thing as, he's the leader of the group situation, but him being the bard.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, because him being, I can't really fight. I can't really do this. I'm the thinker and I can sing and play music. And that's what I've got. Right. And him having that, and then also being like the Hannibal of the A-team in this, it's really well placed. It's the only time you're going to find the bard being in charge of anything is going to be in a, D&D style movie, because nobody, it would be like your army being led by the drummer.
Right.
That kind of
same thing.
Kind of situation. So because you were kind of into and actually liked and enjoyed the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie, I now have something else that you need to try.
Okay.
And you can get past, you're good with animated, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's on Prime. You got the Prime?
Mm-hmm.
Vox Machina.
I've heard about that. You may have told me about that before.
I have. It is Dungeons and Dragons based.
Okay.
It's also hilarious in parts. It's super gory, and there is animated nudity and a lot of cussing.
I'm in.
But
Are nude people cussing?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And so, and it's the style of Dungeons and Dragons that it sometimes throws people off when they're in olden times, but they're not talking like they're in olden times.
Right.
That's kind of what you're going to get with a lot of Dungeons and Dragons style, entertainment.
Right.
And again, you don't need to know everything about Dungeons and Dragons because it's kind of self-explanatory.
Sure.
Right.
And I never played as a kid. I don't know anything about the game. I know that Ryder orders these freaking dice that cost $40 all the time, and they're got 18 sides on them and crap. And then the next month there's another shipment of dice. I'm like, what's wrong with the ones you just freaking bought? Well, this has 24 sides on. So, like, I don't get it, but whatever. As long as it keeps them happy.
Well, it's, and I'll explain to you just slightly why they come out with these new things that you can add on and the stories you can go through.
Right.
And sometimes you need 24, like it's 1 out of 24 that can happen. Right.
Oh, okay.
So you got to have a 24-sided die, or else, you don't get to do that. So, or you could just use 2 12s or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. I wanted to go through because I did, before you get to what day it is, there's a couple of things. I feel like that maybe my life is coming back and becoming viral, and it's not with like me attached to it. As things that I've seen that I used to cook, and probably the reason why I was fat back then, plus the fact I used to go through, a handle of whiskey every 2 nights.
Sweet.
Also didn't help. But some of my cooking hacks that I used to use are now like becoming super popular. And one of them, because I've said this a few times, when people ask me, hey, if I was going to come over to your house and we're on the radio or whatever, and you're going to cook something that could blow somebody away, what are you cooking? And my answer has always been, well, there's a lot of things, but the thing I love to cook, and people seem to be like, well, what the hell is this? Is people do country fried steaks or chicken fried steaks. I managed to create what I called the Dorito fried steak. And now I see on TikTok and stuff, people are like, by the way, new thing, you can fry stuff in Doritos. And somebody stealing my thing. Should I have already made a TikTok showing people how to make Dorito fried steaks?
Why have you not?
I don't know. I think maybe because I was like, I don't want to show everybody because then
I'll do it.
Everybody will know. And so fine. You'll probably go see one of these TikToks, but in case you need an idea on how to do Dorito fried steaks, go get your favorite cut of steak. And make sure, of course, if you're going to fry the steak, that you tenderize it really well. I know it seems like you shouldn't do that with a good steak, but trust me, get a steak with high fat in it, tenderize it really well, and get you a bag of Doritos. Your favorite, Cool Ranch, the spicy nacho, the mustard ones, whichever ones you want to get that bag, open it up, close it back up, and then beat the hell out of them. Dude,
it's your kid.
Like it's till you want to make it as dusty as possible in there. Once you do that, in the bag, drop you a couple of eggs in there and just a little bit of milk in there. Then take your steaks out, put them in a light coating of flour, then drop them in the bag and shake the hell out of that bag. And then throw those directly into a little bit of oil. Low oil. You don't want it covering the whole thing. You want to get one half done, then the other half done. Basically flip it, right? It's done. Super crunchy, and the flavor stays on the steaks. So it's crunchy, it's Doritos, it's steak. And then if you want to top it off, when you make your gravy, from scratch because you're supposed to, not out of a packet that says McCormick on it because you're not supposed to do that. Milk, a little bit of oil, a little bit of flour, all that goes into it, right? Use a little bit of the grease from when you fried the steaks, right? And then drop you a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch in that gravy that you're making. You damn right. Now you've got ranch gravy on top of Dorito fried steaks, and then you're fat because that's how you get fat. So
none of that sounds remotely appetizing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, Tim. I don't know why it doesn't sound amazing to you because everything that I just said that goes into it's amazing.
I just like regular chicken fried steak.
Yes. So it's like saying, you know what? I just like a regular woman, but then a supermodel comes in. You're like, that's awesome. And it's like, oh, by the way, she's coated in Doritos. Oh, that's even better.
Meh. I think I like her plain. I don't want to lick Doritos. Never mind. I take it all back.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
I want to lick Doritos off of all of them. Same time.
Tim, what day is it today?
Colby, it is May 24th, a Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
Here on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show on FanStream Sports. Today is National Aviation Maintenance Technician Day.
Okay. All right.
Without them, we can't fly.
For a minute there, for some reason, I thought it was just going to be Aviation Technician or Aviation Maintenance Day. And it's like, is it going to be Mid-Air Aviation Maintenance Day?
It should be every day.
That should be every day.
It is Emergency Medical Services for Children Day.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm just glad we don't have to go through all these just acronyms anymore. We actually say what they are.
Which has a mascot named Benny Baramedic. It's Barry Baramedic Day.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so amazing. It just caused my face to shut down.
It is International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament.
Okay.
What happened to men?
Well, they've got a different day.
National Asparagus Day.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with asparagus.
I like it grilled. I like it pan-seared. I like it baked.
Yep.
With all of the butter on it.
You can pretty much put asparagus is one of the things that soaks up whatever flavor you put in there. So just put your favorite flavors in there.
National Brothers Day.
All right.
So call your brother if he didn't call you already out there.
All right.
National Escargot Day.
Man,
you ever had an escargot?
Love escargot.
Too, man.
It's amazingly awesome.
It is National Mike Day.
Like microphone or just like people named Michael?
People named Michael.
All right.
Or Mike.
Mark.
Mm-hmm. No, Mike.
Mike.
It is National Tiara Day.
Where's yours?
I don't own one.
Okay.
I had to get rid of it. I started identifying as a man again.
Okay.
National The Battle of Pichincha Day. Apparently, if you live in Ecuador, that's a big day.
Okay.
And finally, Colby, here on May 24th, it is National World Schizophrenia Awareness Day. Because I'm not schizophrenic and neither am I.
That's right. I was waiting for a day to come along with that would have been like the opposite of
right.
But I can't think of one that would be. So you know what? There was going to be a joke there. I just don't have one.
You don't have one.
No.
Colby, we're on a new clock.
We are.
Which means it's break time.
Oh, well, so coming up next, we'll do birthdays. And that's the thing where you choose the good, bad, and the ugly person. Now the people I tell you that their birthdays today. And that's all next on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hey, you like golf? There's a good chance you do because I said so. But what do you need playing golf? Well, you need clubs, right? Clubs, you need balls. The thing that people don't usually think about is that golf bag. And that's what most people see when they look at your golf clubs, like right off the bat. And if you've got a raggedy bag, it's not doing you any favors, bud. So get you a new bag. Go over to orca-golf.com. Orca-golf.com. Why are you going there? You're going there because you want a golf bag, but you want one that's kind of screams you. So you want to pick the colors. Well, you can use your own custom colors. Maybe you have a logo in mind. Maybe it's your logo. You're like Prince. You just have a symbol. That's the case. Dude, you can get your logo on there. Your name, just get it done exactly like what you want it done. by actual designers. Nothing goes out of their factory without the approval of the founder, Erica Bennett, who is just brilliant. We've seen some of her bags. We've got one of them actually in the studio. You know what? Dude, it looks good. If you want other people to look at your golf setup and go, man, that just screams Frank. You want that? Then go over to orca-golf.com. Do yourself a favor and use the promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. I'll say that again, DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. So do it today because Orca Golf is the best choice in the game.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to Turflife.club.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is Turflife.club.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new Fan Stream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more Fan Stream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show on a Wednesday night. We're coming at you live from our studios in Dallas, Texas. It's a beautiful night.
Still daylight outside.
Still daylight outside. What is it? 7:25 Central Time of the centrality of Texas. Colby, it's that time of the show that I guess it's everybody's favorite, right?
Sure, why not? All of them are everybody's favorite.
Well, that's true. Let's not lie.
So this is that segment where I go through all the famous people that are born today. I look through the list, and then I make a list out of those people that I think are famous enough to make my list. Following me? Because I'm not.
Confused.
Yes. So I then offer them to you guys along with Tim and myself. And we find out who we think is the good person, who is the bad person, and who is the ugly person out of this list. Thus the music, and also thus the title, Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Great explanation.
214-937-0569, as you just heard Tim say in the commercial right before we came on. That is our fan stream text line. So use it. Just use it.
And abuse it.
Mm-hmm. So starting off today, got to throw Tim a bone. As Joey Logano turns 33 years old today.
I'm not NASCAR Tim.
No, but he races cars.
Not the same, and he's a punk. I'm not a fan.
I just threw him out there because I figured you'd know his name.
No, I know who he is. He's a punk.
Not a punk. And God, every team that this guy has played on, he was immediately the fan favorite. And
Matthew Barnaby.
And no.
Okay.
He's played on nearly every team that's ever existed. It's one Bartolo Colon. 50 years old.
Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still playing. somewhere.
Probably somewhere. And probably every once in a while, every 4 or 5 years, hits a dinger and everybody gets super excited.
Yep. I just went through Arlington.
He did.
Fan
And
favorite.
good times. A member of the Bad Boys there, Tim. One, Joe Dumars turned 60 years old.
Dude, that was a great team.
Hated him.
Did you?
Severely hated
I
him.
mean, Aguirre played on that team too.
I know.
Ex-Maverick.
Ex-Maverick.
You didn't like Aguirre?
Once he donned another team's uniform,
You were done.
I was done.
All right.
I mean, yeah, it was great when he played here. Almost remember it.
Bill Laimbeer is one of my favorite NBA players of all time.
Yeah, no. I wasn't a fan of dad basketball.
Right. Physical? You mean real basketball?
No, just dad moves basketball. I mean, that was basically everything that Bill Laimbeer had.
Played that way in college too at Notre Dame, which was weird.
Right. Probably played that way as a kid and just like, what? When did you turn into dad, Bill?
He was like 8.
Yeah.
That's why his name was Bill.
Right. Everybody's name, if your name is Bill, you probably aged really quickly.
He went from Billy to Bill like at 8.
Right. Oh, well, that's Bill. Wait, wasn't he Billy yesterday? That's till he punched a turtle. And we called him Bill. I don't know why. 70. Yeah, I like turtles. Turning 70 years old today. One Alfred Molina. Do you know who Alfred Molina is, Tim?
Yeah, I recognize the name. I'm trying to place it.
Do you need help?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help.
I'll give you a genre of film.
Okay.
That he's been in once, but's made a recent appearance. He is in that comic book cinema recently.
Oh. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get it then.
He plays Doc Ock. And he was in.
Okay, yeah. I do recognize him.
So
made a comeback, right? After 20 whatever years to play Doc Ock again.
That's right, because he was Doc Ock for the Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man 2, and then made a comeback, of course, when all the villains came back in the recent Spider-Man.
Really good in that role too, I thought.
Yes, I didn't. He was one of those guys that I was like, why are you getting him?
Right.
Even back then, but turned out really well.
I like him.
The sleepy assassin, 44 years old today, Tracy McGrady. He just always looked tired.
I just thought he always looked high.
He just always looked tired to me.
First cousin to
Vince Carter. Air Canada.
Yep. That was a good team.
That was a good team. I still submit that if Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady had remained with the Raptors, that there would have been nobody to stop that team for a while.
I agree, especially out there in that East.
So that you just couldn't have done it, but they blew it up. So yeah, there
Thanks
you go.
LeBron.
It wasn't LeBron's fault for Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter leaving the Raptors.
It was his fault.
What was not his fault? He didn't do that.
Sure he did. Thought about it.
Almost skipped one, and a very important one. 85 years old today. Tommy Chong.
Wow. You want to get high? Mark.
Dude. You're talking about people that know how to get high in the wealthiest of ranges.
Yes.
Yes.
Every way.
He's one of them. And made a entertainment career out of getting high. That's just when you know that life loves you.
Him and Cheech Marin.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, some of those Cheech and Chong movies, Nice Dreams holds up. I watched that a few weeks ago. I had to go back and revisit Nice Dreams.
Some of them do not hold up.
Well, I don't know. All the Cheech and Chong ones do.
I mean,
they're kind of racist now, I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to get butt hurt.
Yeah. No, well, that's part of the reason why I say they won't hold up. I mean, will I still find them funny? Yes.
Right.
When they're wrestling the Invisible Woman or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. Kind of funny. Speaking of kind of funny and nearly everything that he's in, even when he's trying to be serious, John C. Reilly turns 58 years old today.
There is no way you could ever take him seriously in a role.
No.
Like, I bet he could do it.
He could.
He'd probably be really good at it.
Yeah.
But with that hair and that face,
Uh-huh.
there's no way.
I mean, but, even when he's trying to be serious, can you imagine, like, him getting mad at you and you're like, when's the joke coming, bud?
You're just giggling at him. Makes him even more mad.
He's about to murder you and you're just like, you're so hilarious right now.
And that bear gets on the bicycle and rides away.
That's right. Turning 79 years old today. I don't think we have any deads today, by the way. Nope. Turning 79 years old today. We did have somebody pass away today that we probably need to talk about. Patti LaBelle turned 79.
Colby, I'm a big fan of Patti LaBelle.
I figured you were.
I loved her back in the 80s. She had some soft rock hits that we would play, my, of course, middle school, high school dances.
Right.
A lot of, I think it was the song On My Own.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Michael McDonald. I think I may have checked some oil during a school dance one time to that song.
Really?
Yeah.
A little low? Needed some.
I needed to top it off.
I gotta replace your dipstick.
I need to check your filter too.
Muffler's working good though. We're kindergartners. 78 years old today. Yeah, she's a year younger than the lady we just talked about.
Yeah.
Priscilla Presley.
Oh man, she's not aged well either.
No.
A lot of work done.
Yeah.
But dude, she was married to Elvis.
Right.
Elvis the Pelvis. And she birthed Lisa Marie.
Right.
Who at one time was pretty hot to me. Like I might kind of had a crush on Lisa Marie. I had a crush on Priscilla during the Naked Gun movies.
Yes.
She looked pretty good, right?
So she did. And they had to get somebody a little bit older just so you didn't think that,
that Drebin was Drebin somebody.
Right. Okay, I'm now changing when you're going to go score. You're going to go Drebin.
We go Drebin.
We're going to go Drebin.
Colby got Drebin last night.
No. You Drebin somebody.
I have to do it? Oh, I don't receive it. I give it.
Drebin.
She got Drebin.
I mean, you could. It's 2023, but
She got Drebin.
I just lost my pen. Not that I was going to write anything down.
I like other guys.
I'm not even going to comment about things that that was Gani Gerber, by the way,
yes,
everybody.
It was.
With that drop, Bob Dylan turns 82 years old today.
Dude. He's only 3 years older than Patti LaBelle.
Right.
Jesus. Dude, you know what? I don't care what you think about his singing. And, of course, he's made fun of, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
It's his own style. There are some of his songs that I absolutely love, and some of his songs I absolutely hate. But, dude, you cannot talk about the history of rock and roll or music in America without his name being brought up.
You shouldn't. You could, but you shouldn't.
It would be wrong.
It would be an incomplete.
Yes.
So, no, I understand that. And my favorite person that's on this list, just because of I watch his YouTube videos, he's a professional eater.
Oh, jeez.
And is not my favorite eater on the YouTube. My favorite is Beard versus Food.
Mm-hmm.
That guy. Because he's got an accent and stuff.
Good day, mate.
Yeah. But Matt Stoney turns 31. And to see some of the things that this guy just like lines up in front of him and eats
Really?
is just because he's not a big dude.
Yeah.
He's not a big dude at all. I don't know where it goes, but man, I watched him put down a whole McDonald's menu.
Jesus. I feel like I've done that before, but
Yeah.
probably not.
Right. So, but he's 31. So, and that
Probably won't make it to 32.
Yeah. Well, no, he will because he stays physically fit somehow.
Huh. Who was the notable death today? I don't know that I've heard this.
Tina Turner passed away.
Is that why you were bringing her up?
Yes.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, she passed away.
I was wondering why you were bringing. I thought maybe it was her birthday. That's why you're talking about her. Oh, stay hard, Tina.
She passed away. Remember what was a few years back? She like announced that she was not going to, appear or do anything anymore because she was fighting something and just wanted to go home or whatever. And well, she passed. So,
wow.
Yeah.
How old was she? She was 83. Good Lord.
Right.
And I told you, again, I'll call her hot. Back in the early 80s, man, she's a pretty sexy woman. For what I considered at the time, I figured she was like 50 already,
right.
Or 60 when I was 12. But
looking at this, the math don't add up.
Right? No, but I mean, in a 12-year-old brain, oh man, she was singing in the 60s, which in reality was only like 13 years prior. But to me, even in 1982 or 83, the 60s were 50 years ago.
Right.
No, I mean, I enjoyed her 80s work. I don't care too much for her and Ike and the things they did. We talked about Proud Mary. Not really a fan of her version of that song at all. But I mean, right. I get it. But no, that's definitely a loss in showbiz for sure.
It is. And I won't say right now exactly what it's my podcast.
Do whatever you want.
I sure can. I think I know and respect everything that she's done throughout music. It missed me. It missed me. Whether it's my age or just my music likes or whatever, it was the things that she was doing. I knew were awesome, but they weren't for me. So, but still, we all had Thunderdome, and
yep,
that's enough for me. So, Tim, were you able to unlock the Facebook birthdays?
Yeah, I just don't have any. Colby, by the way, it's a public service announcement for all aspiring podcasters and current podcasters out there. Don't eat popcorn on the air.
No, that's bad.
It's getting stuck in my throat right now, and I feel it's going to affect the quality of the show.
Probably. You got shell itchy throat.
I'm doing is like it's making me have shake voice. Colby, my bad. I'm going bad first because there's one clear bad on here.
Okay.
It is Joey Logano.
Gotcha.
He's an idiot moron of epic proportions. My good, man, there's a ton of goods, right?
There is a ton of goods.
Man, I don't know how I could not go Bob Dylan is good and with a clear conscience.
Right.
My ugly, okay, there's also a lot of those. I'm gonna have to go. Man, it's a toss-up between Priscilla Presley and John C. Reilly.
Wow.
Let's go John C. Reilly as ugly. Think about them apples.
You know what? They're okay. My good, just because I really, really enjoyed watching his NBA career. It fascinated the hell out of me. And yes, I know there's a bunch of other people on here, but I get very rare opportunity to go, Tracy McGrady was really good at that basketball thing. And I don't think he gets enough look or respect just because, he had a lot of injury concerns throughout his NBA career. But man, when he was on, it was a sight to behold. So he's my good. My bad is because I just didn't like the team that he was on, and it's Joe Dumars.
That's fair.
I hated the bad boys. I was that guy. They were in Jordan's way. This was, your WGN. I was one of those guys. My Mavericks weren't good.
Yeah. So
I attached onto another team that I could watch nearly every game of. And
were you old enough to remember to watch? I think you were 10 because I think this was 87. The Mavs and the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Were you aware of that happening in 87? Going 7 games.
I was just now aware that baseball was pretty cool as far as like Major League Baseball. I loved basketball as in playing it, or baseball as in playing it.
Right.
But I was just now, because the wood grained Topps baseball cards.
Right.
That's where kind of like, oh, I like this thing. And so basketball was soon after that. But
Gotcha.
I guess it Tina Turnered me. It missed me.
It totally missed you. That was one of the more exciting times of my 80s. But they were like the Mavericks in 2011. They got really bad really quick after that. They let Guire go. They started trading away pieces.
Right.
And so, they got really bad. Just like the 2011 Mavericks did after winning the title. They got really bad really quick. So did the 87 Mavs after losing to the Lakers in 7 in the Western Conference Finals. So
now, my ugly, and I damn near got a whole list of uglies over here. But this is almost tongue in cheek because of it was one of the reasons why you like the dude is because of his look, and that was Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, I can see it.
So
I'm not mad at that.
Not mad at that for myself either. So there you go. There's your good, bad, and ugly. By the way, if you have anybody that you would rather have had nominated for the good, bad, or ugly, we'll use the text line or comment down below, or I don't know, shoot us a tweet. I don't care. Do something. So there's that.
Colby, there's this thing that we call transition, and I would like to transition with this.
What is that? Haven't heard that in a little bit.
It's been a while since we heard this, isn't it? Of course, stars and golden Kniggets.
It's the Knights.
Kniggets.
No. I mean, that's real close, and I'd rather you didn't.
It's a Monty Python thing.
Yeah, I know. Just don't say it.
Golden Knights.
There you go.
Game 3.
Oh, can we just not talk about this?
Yesterday. And boy, talk about if everything could possibly go wrong in one game, it did. As you not only had Jake Ottinger, your golden boy.
He just wanted to go home.
Who apparently he decided he's done with the playoffs. He doesn't want to play anymore. He went down 0-2 to the Golden Knights.
Yep.
And then he's like, you know what? I'm tired. I want to go home. So I'm going to throw game 3. I'm not even going to play. So not only did he allow 3 goals on his first 5 shots, which probably got him yanked.
Right.
And rightfully so. The rest of the team looked like maybe they were done with the playoffs. And one of them is Colby.
Well, pretty much, unless you can somehow stretch this to further down the road.
As we've got one captain, El Capitan.
Probably should remove that too.
Yeah, that may not be a thing, as he has been handed down a 2-game suspension, which means if they lose this thing, they'll have to sit out the first game of next season.
Right.
Because that's how that works. And why, you ask? Well, let's take a look and see what he did just barely a minute into last night's game.
And there's the first shove. Nothing there, right there. And one would argue it's more of a push with the stick open as it is a extended arm cross check, but nonetheless, it didn't look good. And we'll see what the referees decide once they've had a better look at it and see exactly where this cross check ended up.
Steve Kazari and Chris Lee, the officials tonight, on the headsets with the Situation Room.
I mean, things turn fast. I mean, in a game like this, and you're down 2-0 if you're Dallas, and it gets them in the neck area. I think this is going to hold. I don't know if this is going to change.
Okay, so I have 2 issues with this.
Okay.
Number 1, I'm a big fan of Mike Stone. He is a stud muffin playing hockey. Plays for the wrong team, obviously.
Right.
That was a dive of epic proportions that did not get called.
It was.
Jamie Benn barely came up behind him and off to the side and nudged him. He throws his arms up like he lost. Hockey players don't lose their balance that easily on skates, okay? I don't care if you just see the guy behind you or not. It doesn't happen. Stone went down on a dive. Jamie Benn decided, you know what? If you're going to dive, I'm just going to make you stay down. And took that hockey stick. And I've seen other angles of this. Dude, he hit him hard. A lot harder than on the angles that we saw here.
Right.
Damn near gave him a concussion. He was out for a second. I mean, I've been hit with a hockey stick in the back of the neck before, and it does not feel good.
No.
Was it warranted because of the dive? No, obviously not. Jamie Benn was completely in the wrong there. He deserves whatever suspension they handed down. I would have taken 5 games for that. for Jamie Benn. And I love Jamie Benn. I can't remember him ever reacting this way to anything before.
Well, it shows the level of frustration that this team has.
These guys are pissed. They don't know what to do. And I think we're seeing right now maybe the first glimpse that Peter DeBoer does not really have control of this team.
No. And what we've heard going into this is that he's been pushing all the right buttons. And what I told you in our group chat last night was it looked like somebody pushed all the wrong buttons before this game, because coming into this game, of course, you had 2 games in Vegas, and you really were a sea hair away both times from having a stars up to 2 games.
What does C stand for?
I can't say it because of the wheel.
Okay. Not a cardinal hair.
No.
Okay.
It's a runt.
Okay, I got you.
But you're that far away from having the stars up to 2-0 and then heading into that game 3, but you weren't. Because it was the hair was split a different way, which okay. You know, there were screw ups in the other games, whatever. There was also good play done by the Stars that stretched them both to overtime.
Right.
Coming into this game, I didn't see this happening. And apparently nobody in the Dallas Stars crowd saw this happening, because I saw a team jump onto the ice in the Stars. And as soon as a goal made it into the Stars net, every single Dallas Star deflated. Every single one of them. There was all of a sudden they lost their composure. They lost a little bit of their fight. And of course the dog pile happens when your captain does what he does and gets a 5-minute major, and they end up, letting 2 goals go in. It's back-to-back power plays basically that you failed to get anything, to defend. And that made it 3-0. And in hockey, when you can play like Vegas can play, they're obviously a really good team. They've made it here too, right? And defensively, they just crack down. They just, hey, we're just going to sit back here. If you do make it through this and score a goal, you still got to score another one before you're within a goal's reach of us.
Yeah.
And that's the way to play it. But being a Stars fan and watching this thing happen and watching your team just get bullied and pushed around and basically slapped onto the ground since the beginning of when they blow the whistle and drop the puck, you're losing this whole time. And a lot of people are upset at the crowd, and I know, Tim, you're upset at the crowd, and I'll go ahead and get this out of the way because your opinion is the more popular opinion on this. The people that were throwing the pretzels and the beers and the trash onto, I understand you. I completely understand you, because the boos obviously were not, the Stars weren't getting the message that you were unhappy with what was going on and they needed to pick up their effort, because this is not the time nor the place to basically roll over and play dead. It's not game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. It's not then when you're down 0-2 to just roll over and show a soft belly or drop your pants and take a giant crap in the middle of the ice. And that's what this Stars team did. So I've often said, watching Cowboys, watching the Mavericks, watching the Rangers, I've done this to where things have been thrown. Lawn chairs, hats, whatever's around me, because I'm so irritated. So I completely understand the throwing of things. I'm surprised there wasn't people thrown onto the ice.
Right.
Like random Vegas fan or something. They probably, while it was happening, said, hey, put me down. They're like, oh yeah, you're a person. It's fine. And didn't. But no, what the Stars gave the fans that paid good money to show up to this damn thing, and even us watching, that was probably the ultimate in patheticism that I've seen out of a Dallas area sports team in a major playoff game. And this counts like Elvis Andrews' tough time at short against Toronto. This counts in the time the Cowboys went up to the Vikings in the playoffs and they just let Jared Allen sack Tony Romo 8 bajillion times.
Yep.
I think this was worse because not only did you not play well, but I watched a whole team give up.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself, I put on Facebook, I'm just going to pretend hockey doesn't exist. Just believe that because it basically doesn't. If your team's going to go out there, all the young stars that we have on this team, this is now in your repertoire. And unless you do something amazing and do something that's never been done before, which is come back from this mess, this will always be remembered. And on top of that, your team captain, your guy that's supposed to go out there and lead the way, pulls a bynum on the court and gets hussy mad.
That was a temper tantrum is what that was.
And throws a tantrum, but not only throws a tantrum, but throws one that could have injured somebody on the other team. Not trying to and just do, no, really trying to. And all of that, I don't have an issue. I know you do, but I do not have an issue because that performance that was issued out onto the ice deserved a walkout, deserved everybody just to stand up, turn their backs, and walk away because you Dallas Stars went out there and urinated on yourself. Congratulations.
You know what? Then that's what they should have done. They should have just left. Throwing shit on the ice, dude, that's Philadelphia. Go back to Philadelphia because that's clearly where every one of those people came from. Or Cleveland. They do that crap in Cleveland too.
Right.
You don't do that crap in Dallas. This city is classier than that.
No, we're
not. The fans are classier than that. The organization's classier than that.
Obviously, we're not.
That's bull crap, and I hope that they're able to find even just one of those people on video and they get strung up and thrown in jail because you're going to hurt your own players doing that. That goes above and beyond. I don't like the way you guys are playing, all right? I'm going to throw something at you, and hopefully I hit you in the head and it knocks you out. You cannot do that in sports. It's irresponsible.
I didn't see anything that could possibly knock anybody out being thrown. I saw hats and pretzels.
Doesn't matter.
And beers.
Doesn't matter. You don't throw crap on a playing field or on the ice. It doesn't happen.
I'd have trouble knocking somebody out with a pretzel.
And I could do it. Take one of the tips off and make it sharp on the end, right in the jugular. But no, I'm serious. I hate
rubbing salt in the wound.
All of that crap. That to me was the most disgusting display of anything Dallas sports wise I have ever seen. And the city of Dallas is getting lit up nationally for it, and deservedly so. All of it is correct. All of it is right. All of it is deserved. It's put a black eye on Dallas fans, and we're going to have to live with that for a while.
Well, I mean,
and deservedly so.
It looks like they kind of did their job, though, for the most part, because more people are talking about what the fans did than what Jamie Benn did.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So maybe they're just taking one for the captain.
No, that was just disgusting.
It
was horrible, Colby. Let's go to break.
All right.
Getting pissed off.
Well, all right. So, yeah, all right. We're on the way back. Tim's found a list of Stephen King horror movies, and so we're going to discuss what's the best ones of all time. And then he's got an 820 segment that I'm just going to let you get there when we get there, because it's word origami, and a lot of them are good words, and then some of them are bad. So
they're all good words.
Yeah. Well, there's one that's not. And then we got news and notes. That's all coming up next on the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, grip it, and sip it. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life, man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to Turflife.club.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is Turflifeclub.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hello, golf friends. It's IndyCarTim from the Rough. I want to take just a minute here and tell you about our new friends over at Orca Golf. They make high-quality PGA Tour-grade golf bags, and they're the best in the business. They're the real deal. They're the best bags I've ever seen. They even designed a bag for the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Head over to orca-golf.com and pick up a great bag from their catalog, or let them customize one just for you. You can use your own custom colors, your own logo, you name it. You work with actual designers, and nothing goes out without the approval of founder Erica Bennett. She's just brilliant. Visit orca-golf.com. That's orca-golf.com, and use our promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. Do it today. Orca Golf, best choice in game.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7, day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. I'm IndyCarTim. That is Colby Sapp. We are live from the FanStream Sports Studios in Dallas, Texas on a Wednesday for you.
Woot woot.
Having fun here, no?
No.
Oh, you're probably right. Stupid stars. I'm so pissed off about that. Coming up.
I have crippling depression.
I do now. Coming up, we've got your top 15 Stephen King horror movies of all time.
What'd you say?
Horror
Okay.
movies of all time. I'll rank the horror movies on another show. My top 15 horror movies of all time.
And that'll be brought to you by USA Up All Night.
Up all night. God, loved her. Mistress of the Dark. Colby, before we get into our list, though, I had some audio to share with you. Are you a fan of Guns N' Roses?
I am a fan of Guns N' Roses. I'm a fan of Guns N' Roses back in the day. Anything that they're trying to do now, that might not be.
Appetite for Destruction, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the greatest rock albums of all time, literally.
Damn right.
Are you a fan of Queen?
Yes.
Freddie Mercury?
Of course.
Have you ever wondered what it would sound like if Freddie Mercury sang Sweet Child of Mine?
No,
Because
I haven't, but now I want to.
I hadn't either until I saw it, right?
Okay.
And this is another instance where I asked AI what it would sound like if Freddie Mercury sang Sweet Child of Mine. And we get,
oh my God,
this.
She got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky.
wow.
Right?
Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special
My computer did this.
I'd probably break down and cry.
I mean, there's no. There's no question he could pull off the song.
No.
I mean, chills. I got chills the first time I heard it.
That's you know what? I now want to go to this same spot that they did and just run through and like my favorite songs ever go. All right.
Freddie Mercury.
Or just anybody could they
Anybody,
pull it
yeah.
off. Oh my God. No, here's what I want to do. I want to pick a Ginger song
Oh, God.
and then hear what it would sound like when Tatiana just issues out the growl portions of the song and say like, could this singer pull it off? Or what would it sound like if they tried?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, somebody, anybody.
I mean, I'd like to know what Taylor Swift sounds like when she sings because I've yet to hear her sing.
No, she talks a lot.
I don't know what that garbage is she does. So anyway, there's your Freddie Mercury singing Guns N' Roses. I thought that was cool when I heard that.
That's very cool.
Crap. Colby, are you a fan of the horror genre of movies?
I am a fan, yes. Not as big as Blaze and Cole.
Okay.
Two of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
They are big into it, especially Cole.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I am.
Stephen King movies. You have a favorite?
Stephen King movies. Stephen King books, I have a ton of favorites.
Okay, I figured.
I mean,
I figured you did.
They haven't made this into a movie yet, but if you have a chance and you've never read it, Insomnia is wow. Oh my God.
Is that not the same movie that Al Pacino did?
It is not.
'Cause that was a great movie.
It's a little different. It involves a few elements of the Dark Tower
Oh, okay.
in that. So yeah, no, I was thoroughly impressed with that book.
So some of these obviously are book based because they're all Stephen King movies.
Right.
And then they'll note when the movie differs greatly from the book, which a lot of them do. For those of you that don't know, the Stephen King outlet of The Shining
Mm-hmm.
barely resembled the book.
Yes.
But the movie was good. The book was better.
Right.
And then they had a made for TV movie come out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, starring Steven Weber that very closely followed the book. And it was amazing. I don't know. Did you ever see that one?
I didn't, but I have, of course, I've read The Shining.
Right. But no, the Steven Weber version of The Shining was freaking amazeballs. So let's start at number 15 with a very young crooked talk mouth Drew Barrymore.
Oh, the Firestarter.
Firestarter, number 15.
You know what? All right, because that was a really good one. So I doubt they're going to have any of the ones I think are super bad in here if they're starting with that one. So
Maybe. And I saw this in the theaters when it came out, 83, 84? I was like 11 or 12 when it came out.
it's kind of along the same lines of like The Shining and stuff, having those extra abilities and whatever. So yeah.
At number 14, a movie that I think I saw multiple times before I realized it was a Stephen King book, starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, 1408.
Oh,
remember that one?
I do. I don't remember the movie. I didn't ever see the movie. I do remember I do remember the novel though.
Follows Down on His Luck Rider, which is John Cusack, who finds himself in the midst of a paranormal event that will change his life for all time.
Mm-hmm.
He stays in a random hotel. The apartment the hotel number is 1408. The room number is 1408. And it's kind of got a cult following these days. I mean, a lot of people are looking for a sequel to it, but no, of course that's not going to happen.
No.
Number 13, going back to Christopher Walken in The Dead Zone.
I have not seen The Dead Zone. You're going to realize that once I've read the book, you
have no interest in the movie.
Unless I just needed to see some visuals.
Yeah.
For it. This is one that I did not. Even though it's the great Christopher Walken.
Mm-hmm. He was really, really good in it. Number 12, one that I've never heard of, very honestly. Never heard of this book or movie. I'm trying to find a release date for either one of them. I don't. It's called Gerald's Game.
Oh, okay. Is this the Netflix?
Follows a couple. It doesn't say anything about where it was on, but you know what? Yeah, it says under the photo credit, it says Netflix. So
okay, I think this is the one where like somebody ends up strapping somebody to a bed and then they pass away, and so like they can't unstrap themselves. So
that's what the picture kind of depicts. Then a chick kind of strapped to the bed, and then kind of laying on top of her, and she's clearly not with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. Another one of my teen favorites, Colby, at number 11, Children of the Corn.
Good first movie. If you made it to Children of the Corn 12,
they're all terrible.
Not so good.
No, they're all. I forgot they even had that many, or how many it was.
Well, they've had quite a few. I think I exaggerated the number. I hope I did.
But no, that was one I saw it in the movie theater. One of my favorites. Again, not sure at the time. I knew it was a Stephen King movie even.
Well, you can pretty much, when it gets to enough weirdness level,
you can tell.
Yeah.
Number 10, this is my all-time favorite Stephen King book and my all-time favorite Stephen King movie.
Okay.
Which means you're probably going to hate it.
Mm.
Pet Sematary. First one.
You know the backstory on this book. It has a
I'm sure I did at one time. Yeah.
It has a really, okay. So Stephen King, he was in between moving from one publisher to another one.
Right.
And he owed his previous publisher one more book. So he had in his desk Pet Sematary.
Mm-hmm.
While writing the book, he thought, this is the craziest, this is the evilest, this is the darkest book I've ever written.
Wow.
This is bad. I don't want it published.
Right.
But he owed them a book. And so he's like, fine, I'll give him that. Oh, go ahead. And so he just sent it. And it was actually meant as, he thought it was good, but he thought it was so dark and just pull your heart out and don't put it back.
Right.
That it was going to bomb.
Right.
So he thought he was and then that Pet Sematary is what it was.
Yeah, and the book is even far darker than the movie ended up being.
The only book of it that I've ever enjoyed or not enjoyed was into and felt like I should finish it without hate finishing it, that I couldn't finish it.
Really?
The other thing was that I was doing it on audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the dude that was he played Dexter in the
Mm-hmm.
and they had him reading it. So his tones reading it were another thing that was like, I don't know how much more of this that I can take. I mean, it's really good, but it's like it's almost like I was eating too much dark chocolate. And
that is a bad thing.
I was like, oh no, this is too much. This is too much.
Number 9 is, I'd never read the book. I never saw the movies. This was from 2007, and I wasn't into doing movie stuff at that point in my life. The Mist.
Okay. And that's actually because that's a short story of his. And I haven't delved into the realm of short stories with Stephen King. Because, I mean, there's a bunch of them that are really good, but I want them to last longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
number 8, and this movie appears twice because there have been 2 versions of it.
Yep.
Number 8 is the original It.
Okay. You know what?
Tim Curry.
The version of the kids that you see in and out of that movie, because they go back and forth, like the book does. The book goes back and forth. I like the newer kids better.
Okay.
But I liked the adult storyline better in the Tim Curry version.
Gotcha.
So
fair enough. Yeah, I haven't seen the new one that came out, but I've seen that other one several times. Number 7, another one of my favorites because it paired one of my favorite directors with Stephen King, John Carpenter. Christine.
That,
as a kid, that was terrifying to me.
I have only seen that in movie form. I haven't actually read that book. And after seeing the movie, I was like, I don't need to read the book.
Right.
I think I'm good. On that.
And the movie's not far from the book. They did pretty well. And I haven't read the book either, but everything I've read about, his movies and how they compare.
Right.
This is one of those that's fairly close. I mean, it's about a car that comes to life and kills teenagers to protect its owner. How can that not be good?
Right.
I mean, it sounds like my high school years. Number 6, another one from around that same time that terrified me as a young teen, Cujo.
The one that I have not seen the movie of or the book or read the book, and it's mainly because I really love dogs.
I know, me too.
I really love dogs. And if the dog's going to go insane, that's already sad. But it's some kind of demon dog. And now no, I'm out.
And you got to shoot it at the end. Spoiler.
I'm out. Old Yeller has, and like,
I hated that story.
That when we watched Old Yeller in school. It's like, no, watch this movie. And then at the end of it, I'm like, why did we watch that movie? That is
we had to
awful.
Read the book. We had to read the book in school. It was stupid.
Dumb
book. Number 5, I've never heard of, book or movie form. Apparently it's Return to the World of the Shining. In 2019, Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
So is it a sequel?
It is a sequel.
Okay, well, there you go.
And of course, the book was fantastic.
Right.
I also did watch the movie, and Ewan McGregor does a really good job with the movie. And the characters they have play everybody. Is it as good as the book? No. Is it ever as good as the book? No. But it was definitely palatable. I've
never heard of it.
If you're not interested in reading the book, then you really loved like the second version of The Shining, the TV version of it.
Yeah.
This is a continuation of that.
Gotcha.
So
I'd have to check it out. I'm sure it's streaming it somewhere at this point.
Yes.
Number 4 is we're getting into the top ones here now. This is one that I knew about. I never finished the book. I couldn't. And then the movie came out and I'm like, there's no freaking way I can watch the movie if I couldn't finish the book. But I watched the movie and it was tough to go through. And I don't know why it bothered me so much. It's pretty violent, but most of them are. This was violence in a different way, and it was Misery.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm out.
I loved James Caan. I loved Kathy Bates. I was like, I have to watch this movie.
No, you don't.
And I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched the movie.
And were you proud of yourself once you were done?
I was shocked that I sat through it.
I'm not.
I couldn't finish the book.
Couldn't. That was one of those, and I've been through this type of film before, and at the end of it, you feel like you survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to it wasn't worth putting myself through the book or that.
Pretty sure I had nightmares for a while. Number 3, Colby, on our top 15 list of top 15 Stephen King movies. The remake of It.
The first with the kids is, I don't know what's going to beat it on my list. I'm sure there's something if I sat in that, but it's really good. It is.
I didn't
really
see
good.
this. I didn't want to see it because I liked the first one so much.
The way they did Pennywise in the movie it was amazing.
Make my kids sit through it.
It was definitely amazing. It's worth it. So
number 2, arguably the greatest horror film of all time, The Shining.
I have, of course, read the book and also went through this movie version of it. And I actually saw the movie first and then went back and read the book. And that's when the realization kind of hit me. It's like, man, the movie's, it's good, but it's not what the book is.
Yeah, Stephen King reportedly hated the movie.
They didn't, like, in the movie, they didn't really make the hotel the bad guy.
Right.
And in the book, it is the bad guy. So
yeah, and in the Steven Weber version of it, it's like that too. It's to me, it's way more interesting than the first Shining, but they're not going to put that on here. Number 1, Colby, the number 1 Stephen King movie of all time, according to Ranker.
I know what it is.
What's that?
Is it Shawshank?
Nope.
It's not.
Nope.
1976.
Brian De Palma and Carrie.
Okay.
Saw that as a little kid, and it terrified the bejesus out of me.
You know what? Yeah, and I think they've tried to remake that.
They have.
Again, and
the endings literally scarred me for years. And I had nightmares about this. I didn't want to see a Sissy Spacek movie for like 20 years because of this.
And this was, what year did it come out?
76.
So, yeah, I saw this all the time when you were going through, and I was like at Ken's rent a movie or whatever.
Right. Fake Blockbuster.
Yeah. Before Blockbusters were huge, and you see it. And of course, the cover is Sissy Spacek. She's just like this, and it's like covered in blood and stuff. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to watch it. I never picked it up. Everybody kept, I
think you would enjoy it.
Like the people that were around me knew what I was into. It's like, no, you'd be into that. I'm like, no, you're wrong.
I think you would. It's kind of a slow burner, it gets you going, and it keeps drawing you in and drawing you in, like a lot of Stephen King things. But this may be the most of all of them, drawing you in, and you get so hooked on it and so into it, you feel like you're part of it. And then the ending, dude, just freaking destroys your world.
Right.
I mean, it's catastrophic.
Well, even with the bad Stephen King movies, you're drawn in just because of, the character development that he's so good at happens to, kind of morph itself over into, like, what was it? Thinner?
Yeah.
It's like, this is not interesting at all whatsoever. But then while you're in it, you're like, I'm still watching this. I'm still here. Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
I guess I kind of care. That's weird. So.
Yep. So there's your top 15 Stephen King movies.
The most defeated that I ever was leaving a theater was a Stephen King movie. And it wasn't because of, it was that I had so much hopes on it. And then at the end of it, I still tried to make a post about it that it's all right.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted it to continue, and it was The Dark Tower.
Okay.
If you've never read or taken
I remember you talking about it when it came out, and then how disappointed you were in the movie, but I don't know anything about it.
The Dark Tower series is Stephen King's Star Wars. It's his epic. It's his super continuation, and it's limbs extend to like Pennywise and to The Shining Like there's parts of all of that
Oh, wow.
that are in the Dark Tower that slowly kind of connect the whole Kingverse basically. And at the root of it is this Dark Tower. And it's like 12 books.
Jeez.
That are like, Stephen King books.
Nobody's read 12 books in their life. That's impossible.
I mean, I have actually, and I know because Corey also, Majors also went through it when
did he?
And I told him about it, and he went through it. The most excited I get about somebody telling me they're reading a book is when they're like, I'm starting the Dark Tower series. And I immediately envy them.
Yeah.
Because I would love to go back, not knowing what I was about to get into, and open up the Gunslinger, which is the first book. So, but leaving the theater, I was like, oh my God, they killed it. They've killed it. I'm all right. I'm going to try and get as many people to go see this trash as I can, so that maybe they'll fix it later. They didn't.
Yeah. I remember you being very disappointed.
Irritated.
Colby, are you aware that there is a sex epidemic?
No.
Maybe we'll call it a sexpidemic.
A sexpidemic.
I just made that word up.
You can tell.
TM. Sexpidemic TM is trademarked. As apparently oral sex is becoming more and more popular around the world.
Well, welcome to the group, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Congratulations.
Like, what? Are people just now figuring this out that you can do this? But it is causing a rapid increase in a type of throat cancer.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
everybody's getting the Kirk Douglas cancer?
So
you've heard the story, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to share it?
So his old lady, what's her name, fleeting my head, because super hot. Oh crap. Oh my God. Like just the epitome of the Latin goddess. Entrapment, dodging laser beams. What's her name?
Ann Biden's?
No.
Oh.
No. You're not going to Google it? Fine. I'll Google it. Holy crap. My phone won't unlock. You have to have her name in order to.
That's true. Yeah.
Know why this is great. Entrapment, 1999 film. Who's in it?
Producing on the air.
Yes. Catherine Zeta.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes.
No, that's Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas?
You said Kirk Douglas.
Yes, my bad.
Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas's wife is Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, Michael Douglas admittedly says that he got the throat cancer because he kept eating the taco from Catherine. And he did it so much that it caused him to have, which I can understand. Truly can, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you.
But so
Can we do
yeah.
it together?
Huh?
Can we do it together?
No.
You never shared a taco with a friend?
No.
Soft taco?
Yeah, no.
Crunchy taco?
Once you dipped your stupid nose in there, I'm not going in after you.
But have you ever shared a burrito?
What does that mean?
Like a beef burrito.
Nothing with beef should be shared between two men. Mark. Emphatically.
But you never shared a taco with a buddy.
No, I don't. Right. No, I've never shared a taco with.
You ever shared a taco with another lady?
Probably.
Okay. So that's okay.
That's fine.
All right, I got you. So this throat cancer epidemic that we're.
Yeah, I wish I just let you tell the story. Damn it.
It's a type of throat cancer called oropharyngeal cancer.
That just sounds like that sounds like the dinosaur Lickalotopus.
Apparently, it affects the area of the tonsils and the back of the throat. Well, of course it does, because that's where it goes.
Right.
If you're doing it right.
Yeah.
The main cause of this cancer is a virus called HPV, which is also the virus that causes cancer of the cervix. What do those two things have in common?
Well,
The back of the throat and the cervix. But this oropharyngeal cancer has now become more common than cervical cancer in the United States and in Britain. HPV is sexually transmitted, Colby.
You know what? I almost accept that as an actual nickname.
Colby. All I can think about is a bear riding away on a bike. Oh, listen to that again today. We're not even there yet. So behavioral trends show that oral sex is very prevalent in some countries. In a study that colleagues and this writer conducted in almost 1,000 people, they had to have tonsillectomies for non-cancer reasons.
Okay.
Would you like to know what those reasons were?
I mean, sure. We're already here now.
Because apparently if a chick has, or maybe a dude, has their tonsils removed, it can go farther. Deeper.
Okay.
So anyway, the moral of this story, boys and girls, don't get throat cancer because of that.
Yeah, so try it.
Dumb way to die.
Or the story that can be written in your obituary.
I mean,
you're right next to the guy that died because he ate out too much.
Tacos. He really enjoyed tacos.
And then the guy that died. I mean, there's two different things.
Yeah.
I ordered takeout too much. I ate out too much.
Huh. But which is worse?
I'm going to go ahead and, it sounds like the person that ate out too much is living a little bit more life than the person that ordered takeout too much.
I think you're right.
So there's that.
And on that note, I think we should take our last break, and then we'll come back and talk about the orchestra orgasm before news and notes.
Oh, dear. Okay. It's a French horn. Ding. Hit the button, stupid.
Hello, sports fans. FanStream Sports.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
All right, guys, time to talk a little bit about Turf Life. You've seen the hats on our heads. You've been or seen the video of the studio. You've seen that the decals are all over the place. Turf Life. Man, it's the brand that salutes the consumer and industry players everywhere whose lives involve turf. What does that mean? That means if you play or have a business, or, maybe you're a sports educator, you're going to be on turf at some point. So you live the turf life. So go ahead and tell everybody you live the turf life by having your Turf Life window decal, or, the hat or the keychain or the something. Along that lines, just go to Turflife.club.com and become a turf head. That's what it's called when you live the turf life. You're now a turf head. And you can go join the club today, snag that window decal, or snag any other special Turf Life accessories, and go over there to that website, which is Turflife.club.com, and get your stuff and show everybody that, man, I'm all about that turf life. And then you just kind of raise your coffee mug at them and go, yeah, turf life, baby. That's what it's about. And then that's the end of the commercial. Ding. That means it's done in microwave talk.
Hello, golf friends. It's IndyCarTim from the Rough. I want to take just a minute here and tell you about our new friends over at Orca Golf. They make high-quality PGA Tour-grade golf bags, and they're the best in the business. They're the real deal. They're the best bags I've ever seen. They even designed a bag for the Golden Bear himself, Jack Nicklaus. Head over to orca-golf.com and pick up a great bag from their catalog, or let them customize one just for you. You can use your own custom colors, your own logo, you name it. You work with actual designers, and nothing goes out without the approval of founder Erica Bennett. She's just brilliant. Visit orca-golf.com. That's ORCA-golf.com, and use our promo code DSP10 for 10% off and free shipping. Do it today. Orca Golf, best choice in game.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Hey, listeners, make sure you check out the brand new FanStream Sports in-studio text line. You can reach us during any of our live shows or 24/7 at 214-937-0569. That's 214-937-0569. Text us 24/7 day or night, and we'll reply to you and make you part of the show.
Coming back at you. Now, more FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show on this Wednesday, final segment of the show. It's been a funny one. I mean, I laughed hard during news and notes last week, but I've got a couple of belly laughs here. And also, side note, pulling the curtain back a little bit. So our bathroom to the office building is kind of down the hall a little bit out of our main door from the studio.
Right.
After talking about all of these Stephen King movies, we never lock the door. It's always freaking open. I went ahead and locked it when I came in here. It's like, I don't want anybody coming in here.
Just in case.
Yeah. Of course, now that I've announced we never lock it, we probably should start locking it all the time.
Should do that.
Dang it. I mean, our address is out there.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Whose idea was that anyway?
You're the one that kept talking with the microphone on.
I know. Oh, is this thing on?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Colby, have you heard about and I'm not into operas and crap like that.
Okay.
I do enjoy a good symphony. Have you ever been to a symphony, like as a grown-up, where you dress all up and you go hear some Tchaikovsky?
No.
And then you pay, $27 for a vodka tonic or a martini shaken, not stirred.
You know what? If I wouldn't mind having that experience, but I mean, during that, I will need to stop somebody from, shooting a gun or something. I mean, I'll need the whole James Bond experience, not just a little bit of it, right? I'll need to watch out for the sniper that's going to go take out somebody, something.
Right.
Something else has got to be going on. I've been in that situation plenty of times in video games.
Right.
So let's go ahead and do it in real life. That's fine.
I mean, so I enjoy a good symphony. I'm not not all the time. I played in band in junior high or in middle school, so I know some of we learned a lot of that stuff. So, I kind of get it. I do enjoy on occasion dressing up, putting on the tux, getting, the lady getting all dolled up and having a night like that. All right. A nice dinner, and you go to a show. Look, pulling the curtain back even more. Me and my first wife had season tickets to the Dallas summer musicals. And we didn't go to every show, but we went to a lot of them. And about once a month, dude, we would get all dressed up. I owned a tux. She had her little slinky black dress.
Right.
And we'd go eat at Antares. Reunion Tower, for those of you that don't know what the restaurant, or at least what it used to be called. I think it's McDonald's now.
Right. It's Coleco's now.
Is it Coleco's?
It was Antares.
ColecoVision.
Yeah.
And then we'd head to Fair Park and we'd go watch some Dallas summer musicals. A lot of them were Broadway shows, so it's kind of I don't mind doing that. I get it. I don't, I'll do it with the right lady if you're out there. So apparently there's a woman in, where was this? LA. that also really enjoys symphonic music.
Okay.
As they were at the LA Philharmonic's performance of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, when apparently this woman experienced a loud and full body orgasm
Because of music?
right in the middle of the show.
And of course, the people all around her said they'll have what she's having.
All right, Harry met Sally.
Right.
Several concert goers described the woman's climactic moment Friday from the balcony at the packed Walt Disney Concert Hall. I thought they blew that up in a few movies. I guess that was just the movies, huh?
Yeah, it was just the movies. The movies.
The movies. Someone who was sitting there said the quote was, "Everyone kind of turned to see what was happening."
Right.
And she was just sitting there. I saw the girl after it happened. I assumed that she had an orgasm because she was breathing heavily and her partner was smiling and looking at her like in an effort not to shame her. Another gentleman 2 rows back said it was quite beautiful.
I mean, she really got into, you know, there's not a whole lot now, like, I'm sure there was a lot of women that were kind of like upset at the situation. But if you're just going to ask the dudes, they're going to be like, it was great. We didn't have to do anything. We all felt accomplished.
Is there a way that Colby.
You don't have the audio.
Colby.
You don't have the audio.
Guess who has the audio?
No, you do not have the audio.
I'd like to hear the audio, Colby.
I mean,
let's see if we can.
Sure.
Oh, crap. It's the wrong computer. Mother trucker. Hang on.
Okay.
Let's talk about it a little bit more while I figure out how to move it to the other computer.
Was it just the beauty of the music? I wonder what was, I mean, was it, you know, they were really ramming that timpani drum hard and it just carried? Was it the
why is the drum's name Tiffany?
No, the timpani drum.
Well, I mean, dude, we've all heard, right?
Right.
We're familiar with what it sounds like. Dropbox is where I need to go.
Right.
God, this is 2023. I really have to go through all this crap.
I mean, does this, like, the dude that went with her, is he now like figured out he's unlocked the key now?
I mean, why would you ever leave the house again now? Unless you have to be there for something like this to happen.
Well, first of all, I'd go find that exact song.
Just play it all the time.
I'd have it running through the speakers every time it was time to do the, you know, break out the washboard and do the laundry.
When you want her to do something, you just start playing the song on your phone.
Well, no, I'm saying that's parental code for we're going to go do stuff.
Right.
We got to go do the laundry
and each other.
Yeah.
All right, almost there. So
until she slaps on the sweats and looks at you like, no, it's not happening, and you're like, that's okay. It was a small load. I handled it myself.
I feel like we're misusing the word load here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Colby. Like right at the perfect time.
I mean, if I'm there and I've got, my French horn and I'm there and there's a stop, I don't know if I'm able to play the next note because what the hell was that?
British composer Magnus Fiennes, brother of actor Ralph Fiennes, was in attendance. He said on Twitter, a woman in the audience had a loud and full body orgasm during the 5th-second movement.
She had a movement.
Band politely carried on. Fiennes insisted it absolutely happened. He ran through all possible other scenarios in his head. He said, I was in close proximity and had no less than 8 other friends coincidentally attending. All had reached the similar conclusion. She remained for the rest of the show. Her demeanor was in evidence. My corroborated take is merely an observation. She had an orgasm. I mean, and those are open seats. Like, he can't, it's not like you're at the back of a movie theater with nobody else near you.
Right.
And, when you're 16 years old and you're checking your girlfriend's oil and she makes a noise.
Right.
These people are an open view of everybody. They're in the balcony.
And you, I mean, if I would have heard that, I automatically going to look to find out, A, is that person okay? Are they choking? Oh, wait, no, they're happy. Is somebody, like bound their wrists and just popping them from behind? What is going on? And just to see that would have been a sight. Again.
Classical pianist Sharon Sue, does not sound like a classical pianist, said in a tweet that she checked with someone who works at the LA Philharmonic, and they confirmed that the incident was real and that the orchestra did not stop playing, but they carried on during the piece.
I'd have lost track. I'd have lost track of everything. I couldn't have flipped a page. I wouldn't have known what the conductor was doing. This caboose would have been off the rails so quick, fast, and in a hurry, because I just wouldn't have been able to pull in and accept what was happening right then. I'm just not. That's not supposed to happen.
So apparently
it'd have been full stop.
Let's see. The LA Times said it had not been able to identify the woman. You think?
No, she's got to go write her novella now.
The Philharmonic did not immediately respond to its request for comment. Classical music scholars have noted that the melody of John Denver's Annie song, which includes the lyrics, "You fill up my senses, come fill me again," is the horn solo from the second movement of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. So it's the same. It's the same part.
So they're saying this is
a thing.
This is music lube?
I didn't know you could do that.
Huh.
I might have to go to more symphonies.
I just might have to. No, here's the thing. You know how like they're now making, and they did in the past, but it's becoming currently, people are using this again where they're making pheromone colognes and stuff that, are supposed to attract women more. And
is this like the love beans we talked about last week?
Something like that, right? What if you had personal sounds that just, like came from either your phone or whatever, that was just these musical moments that are supposed to, free up the waterworks around you.
Right.
And you doubled down with the pheromone cologne.
Dude.
And now everybody around you is just like, I inexplicably want that guy. We might actually be able to get you, action.
Well, it's not difficult. I mean, I almost said it's not hard. It's not difficult. You remember my story about the movie Titanic?
Yes.
I kind of want to try that with the symphony now.
just see what happens. But it's
see if I can replicate that.
Yeah. Well, of course, if it does exactly what it did to this lady, they're going to be done and ready to go home.
Yeah, they don't even need me.
Yeah.
Go see their own damn symphony.
That's right. Jesus. They're all horned up.
Well, now I got to go back over here. Hang on.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, me. Thank you for making it sound better. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
And by God, I found it. I'm really proud of myself for the horned up reference.
I bet you are.
Sorry. But let's go from there to.
You got a rim job out of it.
Let's go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where there's things you do when you're apartment searching and you're filling out, renters forms and whatever, and there's things you don't do.
Yep.
One of the things you don't do is the thing that Hamm did.
Oh, can you spell that?
STAIJECK HELM.
Oh, but you played for the Mariners for a while.
Probably. So he's filling out his stuff to apply for an apartment.
Right.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma. And as he's doing that, apparently he decides to check and see if anybody around him is interested in him. So people that are around him notice that there's a phone number that's trying to deliver them an airdrop message.
Oh no.
So they're like, well, what's this? This is weird. So a few of them say, well, let's see what it is. It's a picture of Styjack. He's in front of a mirror. He's naked.
Is he playing symphony music?
He's all horned up and ready for action.
Huh.
So these people call the police, and Styjack is arrested for digitally flashing people, which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah.
But it's a thing.
Yeah, I think I did know that, and I probably should. Like sending nudes unsolicited, that's an offense.
Right.
I was told.
So don't airdrop nudes to just anybody in your vicinity.
So, I mean, those people kind of had it coming because I know you don't get the iPhone thing, but there's a setting where you could either accept airdrop from anybody or from only people on your contact list. I mean, that's how all mine are set because I airdrop myself stuff all the time.
Right.
But yeah, so that's kind of their fault. They should go to jail too.
Well, they didn't. But he did for digital flashing. Which again, weird. Let's go from there to holy crap. So the Ultra Test Student Corps. It's the USC, but it's not the same one we're talking about. It's a different college. This one's overseas, obviously. They're under fire for a photo circulating on social media showing members of the student association playing ring toss.
Oh,
Thinking,
God.
oh man, there's nothing wrong with ring toss, with the goal of getting a ring over a bottle. Okay.
Sounds normal.
Still nothing wrong with that. The bottle is held in a stripper's anus.
Sorry, where can I find this college?
Students confirm the authenticity of the photo as can't believe this is this person's name.
Oh no.
So Rector Hindu
Oh my God.
of USC told the Telegraph, because that's what this place is, that he strongly disapproves of the behavior and has reported the incident to the relevant authorities. They have authorities worried about the stripper's anus?
I mean, it's not illegal, right?
I don't guess so.
Especially out there in California.
The person responsible has received appropriate sanction. So, but can you imagine getting kicked out of your student association because somebody posted a photo of you playing ring toss, and the object of the ring toss was to get a ring around a bottle that's shoved into a stripper's anus?
Colby, I've been to a lot of parties like that. The first rule of that party
Just don't take pictures?
is, well, you just take people's phones.
Right.
Like, you're not allowed to have a phone because we don't trust you, except for me.
You know, we brought up Shawshank Redemption
We did.
earlier. A Georgia inmate has also tried this, but he went a little bit of a variant on the whole Shawshank because, you know, I mean, he dug a tunnel and then ended up swimming through a football field length of sewer or whatever, and then made it to the outside.
Never seen it.
You never seen Shawshank?
Nope.
That sir is a travesty.
Probably right.
That is a travesty.
I think I watched Legally Blonde that day instead.
So, well, he went not quite that way. So Kavian Thomas, he dug a hole through a wall in a shower stall at Rice Street Jail on May 17th. And it wasn't to escape the prison. It was to grant him access to the adjacent cell block, which he then used to attack another inmate at night.
Oh my gosh. Violence.
So you can imagine, because DeRodney D. Rodney Russell. Sorry. Whew. There's so many different names into one name.
It's no Joey Logano.
Yeah. Was just kind of sleeping in his cell when Kavian just comes through the wall. First of all, you don't know that somebody's been.
What, was it also a shower on the other side?
Yes.
So you're just sitting there taking a nice hot shower. Well, probably not very hot in a prison, but
no.
Enjoying yourself, probably thinking of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Movement.
Right.
And some dude just busts through.
Well, it was at night. So D. Rodney, good God, D. Rodney was asleep. But here's my question. I guess Kavian, once he finished the hole, just went ahead and went through it, because I think if it was almost, it's like, oh, there's a little, looks like that hole wasn't there before. When you go take a shower.
Right.
But he finished and just came through that MFer. And again, opposite of, he ended up stabbing D. Rodney a few times, but it was superficial stab wounds to his upper body and was treated in a medical unit at the jail for his injuries.
You got shanked.
He did get shanked, but he didn't get shanked to death.
It wasn't shanked very hard.
Right. So, but just imagine you tunneled. You successfully tunneled in a prison.
To another prison.
But your object was not to tunnel out. No. It's just, I really want to stab this guy.
So you get in trouble for that? I mean, stabbing obviously, but
yeah.
If you're not tunneling to escape,
so they can't hit him with escape, I guess,
right,
because he stayed in the prison. Just let's go from there to this is our Florida story that we have to get to, because a woman wearing a pink dress is accused of stealing a John Deere tractor.
In a dress.
$120,000 John Deere tractor. It's one of them big boys.
Oh, not like a riding lawnmower.
No. So why the 46-year-old wanted the tractor is unclear, but detectives note that wasn't the strangest thing taken during her robbery spree. On the tractor with her when she was caught was some bed sheets that weren't hers.
How do they know?
So, some blue jeans that weren't hers, some toiletries that weren't hers, some camouflage wading boots, several packages of frozen venison, and a bottle of wine.
She had a night planned.
Yeah. She is also accused of, because she stole this from one home, she's also accused of sleeping in one of the victims' beds.
It's a little Bo Peep.
So at last count, the suspect was facing 3 misdemeanors and a whopping 35 felonies, with more possible, the sheriff's office said. Investigators say that the crime occurred May 6th in the Kathleen area, about 30 miles northeast of, not west. How did I get west out of northeast? Of Tampa. A neighbor was first to report something suspicious after seeing a female in a pink dress driving a tractor in the area, because that's odd. It's not often you see a woman stealing a John Deere tractor while she's wearing a pink dress, the sheriff's office wrote on Facebook. You know? Weird stuff that happens in Florida.
All of it's weird. That was right outside Tampa, you said, too, huh?
It is. And last but not least, we're staying in Florida because we have another, well, this is a prison attempted escape. Authorities say they foiled an elderly businessman's plan to escape a Florida jail and return to France, where he had previously fled in an attempt to avoid some child pornography charges. A tip from outside the jail sparked a 2-month investigation of John Manchek, he's 78, and people he had enlisted in his escape plan. The escape plan essentially came down to this. These folks that are on the outside are going to wait until Manchek has a doctor's visit, and they were going to take out our corrections staff while he's in our medical facility. So they had a group going to come in and take out folks. The plan called for Manchek's employees to pepper spray prison guards and take them into his private plane in nearby Fort Pierce so they could fly to France to a castle this dude owns.
Oh my gosh.
They found out about it and, of course, were able to thwart it, but a multimillionaire had an alleged plot to escape a Florida jail using pepper spray as its main weapon to get out. I kind of would, if I would have seen this kind of trying to hatch,
Yeah, right.
I think I would have waited till it was in more of the hatching phase before I busted it. When they broke out the pepper spray, just be like, yeah, this is stuff we go through when we're training to do this. Yeah, we get sprayed with pepper spray, and then we've got to, still do our job.
Right, right.
Think we've made it. So there's that. And that's news and notes, everybody.
There it is. Thank you, Colby Sapp, for news and notes, for making yourself sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to me for assisting on the sounding good.
That's right.
And for all of our sponsors, Turf Life, Golf Central Magazine, Orca Golf, and coming soon, Orion Golf. Be looking out for that commercial coming up soon.
Golf people love us.
Man, golf people love the crap out of us because we're lovable.
That's right.
I am Tim. That is Colby. We will be back on Monday with another Colby Sapp IndyCarTim show. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.
Thank you.